Hello everyone, good night and welcome to this stream. I'm Danando and today I'm very excited. I'm going to do a little bit of 3D modeling, and usually on my streaming background I have some more classical style of music, like medieval inspired, fantasy inspired. Today, since we are going to tackle some Gachiakuta related 3D models, I never know how to pronounce the name of that anime, but yes, since we are tackling something related to Gachiakuta, I decided to put some more rock, blues, metal style of music because I associated more with that anime. It should be quite low, it shouldn't be bothersome. I don't want to bother anyone who just wants to have a chill time, but please let me know if the music is working, if it's not bothering anyone, because I feel like it creates a better mood for what we're here for today. And let me say hello to chat. I see already in Twitch chat, Mi-chan, welcome, hope you're having a wonderful day today. We are at Wednesday, right in the center of the week. And speaking of this week, yesterday I had such a cool time. I went to the cinema to watch the new Chainsaw Man movie, and I gotta say, what a banger. I enjoyed the movie a lot. I was not expecting to enjoy it that much. And not only Gachiakuta. Okay, thank you. Gachiakuta. Thank you for help with the pronunciation. Not only was the movie awesome, Chainsaw Man, yesterday, I also ran into two other Portuguese VTubers, Primo and Axel. So it was really fun. We had dinner together, we then watched the movie, and it was an IMAX cinema. It was my first time ever in an IMAX cinema, and I mean, it was a movie that was very rich in cinematic, in sound design, music, and everything, and it really gained a lot. It was literally, the movie is literally a banger, the new Chainsaw Man anime movie. I won't spoil anything, but the movie is indeed a banger. But let's move on to the topic of today's stream. And I shifted my overlay a little bit for the 3D modeling streams because I used to have my software more windowed. And now I have it bigger. I feel like it's easier for me to model, and also the interfaces look better. Hello, Van, Photon, salut, Nando. Just stopping by to say hello and have some fun, and I'm catching some Zeds. Oh, don't worry. I understand this is not my usual streaming time. Usually it's 5 hours earlier, but I mean, sometimes you gotta experiment different times. Routine is good, but sometimes you do have to experiment, and when you're a small growing streamer like myself, it is the best time to experiment. I really want to try IMAX. I'll try to watch Dune Messiah there. Okay, fun story. and this is the yapping section of the stream. Most movies I watch, I end up watching in airplanes, because I do travel quite a bit. Last time I watched movies, it was 6 or 7 movies on the flight from Portugal to Canada and from Canada to Portugal. So yeah, most of my movie watching is in airplanes, and they do have Dune there. But let me thank Vexel Cafe for the 3-month sub. Thank you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Let's go. Thank you for the support. It means a lot. I have Vexel, who is a subscriber on Twitch, and Photon, aka Van, over there on YouTube, who is a member. Thank you for supporting me across both platforms. As I was saying, most of the movies I watch in planes. It is odd, but it is true. But I saw that they had Dune. But when you're watching a movie on a plane, you have those small screens. And it's not only the screens that are bad. The worst thing for me is the audio quality. The audio quality on airplane movies is so bad. And I have Dune, something that everyone is hailing as a cinematic marvel with great sound design, great visuals. And I think about the airplane screens and I'm like, nah, boss, sorry, I'm going to save this one for the cinemas. But because of that, I haven't watched Dune yet. So when will you open VTuber assets comms? That's a good point, especially because I'm going to do more creative stuff when it comes to 3D model design. Like, these are cosplay props, but if I want to quote-unquote mass produce them or monetize these, there can be some issues with terms of legality. I mean, doing a stream like this is completely fine. Trying to monetize my models can be more legally complex. So I'm looking forward to doing more creative stuff when I 3D model. I won't be 3D modeling much on stream, but when I do, I want to do creative stuff, like creating my own weapon, like tonight, and creating assets for VTubers is mostly part of that creative style, so that is a very strong possibility. I'd say the book was better, but it was a very strong adaptation. Yeah, I haven't read the book yet. I know how good it is, but I have so many books to read. I'm doomed. I mean, doomed. I mean, I finished The Wheel of Time, so biggest hurdle of my reader career has been overcoming. Nah, it was a great series, but it was so long. Now I'm a Brandon Sanderson fan, and if you all know Brandon Sanderson as a writer, his stuff is great, but he writes faster than I can read. He monopolizes the time of all of his readers. I want to read other. Stop releasing so many books. Oh, Wheel of Time, the first one. I won't say it is the worst one, because there is one or two, like. It's funny because Wheel of Time is one of those series where everyone is very consensual about things they like and things they don't like. And there's definitely one or two that people think are worst, but the first one is definitely not one of the strongest points of the series, in my opinion. I think third one, like third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then the final ones are definitely the better ones. I do think the first one is good, but it's not the series shining as it could, in my opinion. Like, when I read the first one, I was like, okay, this is good, but I don't consider this, like, one of the greatest fantasy works level of good. After finishing the series, I'm like, yeah, this is good, and I consider the series part of the greatest. So, before starting my own creative design, the first one was fine, not great, not terrible, except Knife Boy. I didn't like his parts at all. Oh, Knife Boy? Okay. I don't want to go too much into details. One of the worst parts of the entire saga is related to Knife Boy. Like, I really didn't like that. One of the character arcs, but Knife Boy, Matt, I assume you're speaking about, does become one of my favorite characters. Matt and Rand are two of my favorite characters of the Wheel of Time, but in the long run. And even though Matt is my favorite, I do believe Matt stars in some of the worst parts of the book as well, of the series. Yeah, it is an odd one. But yeah, these were some cosplay style of props that I made on previous streams. I'm just showcasing my work. Two blades from Vinland Saga, kunai from Naruto, and yours blades. I heard he had better, but well, that's a rough start for him. Yeah, I agree. He does have a... He's not the most charming of characters at first, but he gets really, really layered and complex. Okay, this is the Reaper. It's a weapon from Gachiakuta, and this is a good reference to that style of design we're doing today. This is a character, Gachiakuta. For those of you who do not know the context, it's a currently releasing anime series, and one of the main focus of that anime is objects. You have gifters, they are kind of like the main power of the show, and gifters have the power to gift, I'm going to say energy, life into an object. This is one character who carries a pair of scissors, and since she treasured that pair of scissors and always carries the scissors around, the scissors can transform and become a special weapon with powers. You have no skill here, but these scissors are like 1 meter tall after transformation. And that's the basis for Gachiakuta's power. You have an item, you treasure that item, and that item gains powers basically surrounding your own personality, your relationship with the item. And for me, I was like, okay, what item am I going to use? And I'm going to use my pocket watch. I've modeled this on one of my previous streams, and this is going to be the basis for my original Jinky Vital Instrument, that's the name. Basically, I'm going to imagine myself into this world, and how would I use my pocket watch as quote-unquote a weapon, as an artifact that I would use for power. Let me hide the glass. Yeah, so you can see the clock face better. I just added some gears for effect. This is not finished. But yeah, this is going to be the main basis for my design. Let me just go over the designs I had open. Oh, in terms of creating fan weapons and fan designs, I did say I wanted to make creative stuff for other VTubers. This is, there's a VTuber from Globy, Wilhelm Vanderboss, and I created this rapier inspired on his design. I wanted to be like, if this VTuber was a weapon, what weapon would they be? And I'm going to do this for more VTubers. It's something, when I have the time, my own version of creating a fan art. It's like, I see people creating amazing illustrations, and I'm like, I'm no illustrator, but I don't have to be. I can be creative in my own style. And I want to, in the future, there's other VTubers that I appreciate, and I want to convert their designs into weapons. Here, basically, I got some gold. Wilhelm's costume has some gold accents. Rapier is a very noble blade, like Wilhelm is a noble owl, and this is basically, it's made of steel, this part, and it's basically like if it was a feather. The feathers of the plumies, Wilhelm's fan base, and of course, a long sharp blade, as expected from a rapier. It is angled, like it's getting thinner towards the end, and then with a sharp end. And what else do I have? Oh, this is just to show, for some people who've been here for more than one, for several of my 3D modeling streams, I have talked about parametric design. Because a lot of people who use 3D modeling for creative purposes don't have an engineering background. I have an engineering background, and I know people who design cosplay props that also have engineering backgrounds, and we look at things differently compared to someone who uses Blender, for example. The type of design we create is called a parametric design. everything is defined by equations, and we can use basically parameters to update those equations. And I modeled a Go board, and I decided, okay, I'm going to convert this design into something fully parametric for more than one reason, but one of them is to show chat the magic of parametric design. Basically, I have this table with the parameters I created, and now what I can do, for example, these are not squares, these are like rectangular, and imagine I want the rectangle to be a little bit longer. I can just update this value here, and everything in the model updates accordingly. I can even be more extreme, and this is like magic. I really like parametric, and this, you can do this for any weapon, for any design. You can create a blade, and you have like blade length, and you update this number, and the blade length just updates accordingly. For example, I have here the diameter lines, and this is basically how deep these grooves are. Okay, and I can go 3 millimeters. They should be gigantic now. Yeah, this is very useful. Yeah, this is what we call parametric design. Basically, I'm going to 3D model some Go boards. I can make these points bigger or smaller. I'm going to 3D model and 3D print some Go boards. And basically, if I like or don't like how they look, I can just update here the parameters and create a new... Oh, this is the thickness. And just create a new model. This is super handy. Talking anime weapons and Go, I could see use stones instead of coins like the butler from Hunter x Hunter. Oh, I actually need to write that down, because I'm also writing a book. It's one of my hobbies. I love writing fantasy literature, and more than me, that sounds like something a character from my book could easily do. Because it is a fantasy book with magic, and that really seems like something that could be straight in my book. Yeah, I thought about Go stones for my own weapon. There's both fortunately and sadly, I have so many hobbies and things that it was hard to narrow down what I was going to use as the basis for the design. But I feel like my pocket watch, in criterias of carrying it around, of being an item that you value, like Go stones are very discardable. And I know people who have like a treasured board or a treasured set of stones, but I don't have one. Even like I've had one before. Now I have like 20 because I have the storage from the Portuguese Go Association, but I have no beautiful Go material on my hands. My friend has been getting into 3D printing and talked about how amazing the parametric functionality is. Yeah, it is great. For engineering purposes, I worked in designing robots, and when you're prototyping, you can try to predict things with math, but things will go wrong, and it's so handy to have a quick way to just update things. And I worked with a lot of electronic engineers, and they're like, okay, there's a problem with the robot. Sorry, Nando, will it be hard to make this part a little bit wider? And I'm like, book, done. Just change one value and everything updated automatically. It takes a little bit more time to set up a parametric model, but if you know it is something that you're going to do a lot of times, it is worth it. For example, these gears, they are not... I just modeled them quickly on stream. On Inventor, my main software, I have a set of parametric gears that follow the rules of gear design. I just said, okay, diameter, modulus, number of teeth and everything, and because I studied gear design, it updates everything according to standards, and it's so useful. Instead of modeling hundreds of different gears, I just have my own parametric model as a baseline and update it whenever I need to. Yeah, I'm an engineer, and a lot of what I did as an engineer was 3D modeling. Okay, but now I need to convert this into a weapon. And there are weapons on the show that can be like, for example, there are boots that emit a scent, so they aren't directly weapons. They are kinda, I'm going to call them support accessories, but there are a lot of them who just convert regular objects into a weapon, or weapons that turn more grander, like a staff that turns into a better staff. Claws that turn into bigger claws, things like that. And I'm going towards that route. I want to make this clock become an actual weapon. Oh, and talking about Hunter x Hunter, I did teach Go recently at an anime con, and Hunter x Hunter was such a good entry point. A lot of people knew Go because of Hunter x Hunter, because of the of Dark with Meruem, learning, I think, Shogi, then Go, then what's the name of the fictional game? I'm pulling a blank here. And I'm glad I used the fictional game and not Go as the peak of gameplay, because it should be something incomprehensible to us. And Go, as complex as it is, we understand it. And that game, by creating a fictional game, it just works better for the purposes of being like the perfect complex game. What's the name of that game? I'm pulling a blank. I used to remember. But yeah, that's a side quest, so. And I was already thinking, what's the concept we're going for here? It's not Bungi? What was the name? Wait, I need to Google that. Hunter x Hunter. Gungi! Not Bungi, Gungi. Yes. It's Gungi. I was like, Bungi sounds very close, but it's not right, it's Gungi. Okay, what's the concept we're going for here? So, the first thing I got was the name and the design of how it's going to work. And I think that it's really fun. Because, of course, different designs in the show, different powers have different abilities. I'm going to call my weapon Gungi Gon plus Fungi. I mean, if it works, it works. I'm going to call my weapon, like the scissors are called the Ripa. There's a lot of names are actually not that complex. You know how we say that the things are moving clockwise or counterclockwise? I took the name of counterclockwise, and this will be called the counter clock. And my idea is, this reminds me of the design of a buckler. And I'm going to make a set. It is a buckler and a sword. The clock itself will be the buckler, and then I will use the what's the name of this in English? The ponteiros, the hands of the clock as a sword. And this will be called the counterclock. Why? Because the focus will be to counter my opponent, and when I parry an attack using this buckler, my opponent will move slowly for like 1 second. A bit slower, like half speed. So the purpose of this weapon is to defend and counter. I don't want it to be broken, I don't want it to be very strong. For example, if an opponent is just faster than me, I can block and I just lose immediately. I think this is a good balance. My weapon is really about blocking. It slows down time, and it makes sense because it's a clock. I block an attack, and then I have an opening for a counter attack. It's the counter clock, takes counter from counterclockwise. It's a weapon designed to counter attack, and it's going to be a buckler inspired by this shape, and a sword inspired by those aren't tied down to anything. A sword inspired by the hands of the clock. And I have more twists. Not a lot more. This is like 90% of the weapon. I have a twist to the sword itself, because it's very easy when you're making fan stuff to over-design or try to make yourself too powerful. And since I like writing fantasy and I'm proud of a lot of my ideas, I want to avoid those common pitfalls. I want to actually design something that would be feasible in the world and that would not be broken, overpowered, No, just something that you could imagine a character showing up in an episode, has that power, they figure out the power, they figure out that once you know how it works, it's easy to defeat and the character gets defeated, something like that. But a simple power can also become a main character. I don't want to overcomplicate my power. So yeah, this was 30 minutes of introduction. And by the way, Krantos, are the audio levels fine? I went for a little bit more rock style music today, not my usual style, so I put it a bit lower. And I do hope it is working fine. If not, I will just reverse back into my usual style of songs. But yeah, I think I'm going to start with the buckler. And for the buckler, I like this back part and this top part, I feel like they should either be removed. Okay, I know what I'm going to use this top part for, actually. Honestly, a lot of times an ability has one effect and later gets more effects via power-ups, transformations or whatever, so it gets gradually more complex anyways. Yeah, and complex or nuanced. But yeah, okay, I'm going to start with the buckler design. I'm going to start with a new model, don't want to go on top of this. And make it more Gachiakuta. Make it more... This looks very round. I feel like Gachiakuta's designs are more sharp, and I want to go for that look. So let's start a new design, and I'm going to right away get this center ring here. Let's make the weapon a bit bigger. Yeah, edgeify the clock. Let me just grab my ruler. I like to have a ruler at my end because it's easier for me to imagine distances if I have a ruler in my hand. Okay. Ruler is here. A buckler is a small shield, so I don't want this to be very big, but also I can scale it up and down. I feel like 15 centimeters will be nice for this inner ring. And what I'm doing right away to make it more edgy, as you said. Okay, 15 centimeters divided by 2, that's 75 millimeters. We use millimeters in engineering, not centimeters. And I'm going to make it as if this was like a steel pipe kind of thing. You'll see what I mean. And maybe make it more... How will that look? Okay, let's first take this base shape, just so I can show you what I'm thinking about. Kanta Kuroku, tell the time. Oh, that's actually a good idea. It could tell the time, and that's how the enemies find out about the weakness. Because they do see the time flowing at a different speed. Not the weakness, but the part. Okay, this is too thin. I want this to be like a... instead of being a copper sheet, this should be like a steel bar. So let's get some dimensions, and this... Everything just broke. Okay, let's start with some basics here. 8 millimeters there. I feel like this is going to be too big. 8. 8. And now I wonder if it was a wristwatch, it could just expand into a buckler. Oh, that is cool. That is cool. I'm going to use not a wristwatch, but a regular watch because of a pocket watch, because that's what I have. But that's a nice idea. If I make it a little bit more like this, instead of having the straight... oh, how much is that? 2.9. Oof, not 1.9. I'm going to see how this looks. 2.9. 4 millimeters. 2.9. 4 millimeters. 2.9. I'm really... It's liberating to not be creating anything that is that has references or anything. I was really not a big fan of the referencing searching part. So today I'm just being creative. Okay, wrong thing selected. Oh, this bar? Wait. Yeah, okay, this looks better now. Forgot to close that sidebar. I was like, wait, something's not right. Okay, let's select everything here. Profile. Chotto. Ah, okay, now it's working. Oh, those edges aren't closed. Wait, let's delete this and go for it again. Okay, you turn visible. This should work. Yes. Select everything. Center axis is this one. Okay, and this already looks more... like, instead of having... Yo, Zerzon! You're here! Yeah, instead of having this, like, metal sheet that's normal, I want this to be like, okay, this is a steel ring. I'm still going to go after deciding the colors. But hello, Zerzon! Hope you're having a wonderful day today. I sure am. I'm creating my own weapon. And by the way, for those of you who want to know, I'm talking about some anime like Hunter x Hunter, Gachiakuta and everything. If you want to know more about my anime tastes, I'm going to do a collab with Zerzon this Friday. It's going to be really fun. We will be talking about our own, the anime that influenced us the most. It's not our favorite anime, it is the most influential anime for us, which is very different. You're off work? Yo, I remember you told me about that. That's why we're having a collab this Friday, because you won't be working. Okay, so how does this go? I want to add these two edges like if they were steel pipes. What is the angle? Like, if I'm okay, I'm actually going to open the Pocket Watch lead. I don't think you can be edited, but okay, make it editable. Editable like food. No, that's not what it means, but okay. And this angle compared to this, how much is it? Wait, did I not wait, let me, because this scene shows everything that is... Did I wasuremashita? I did wasuremashita, I have it written, but I didn't press the button to say go live. Thank you, Zerzon. Thank you. Let me go back now to the music is hype. Yeah, and I had this metal music set up for quite a while, and I never had an opportunity. I'm like, I have access to metal music, but my content is way too too soft. But today I was like, no, today's the day we unleash the metal. What's up? Hello, Zero. What's up? Welcome. I'm designing my own Gachiakuta style weapon today. My Jinky, my vital instrument. And it is based on my pocket watch. So 22 degrees. Yeah, Zerzon getting buckler Jinky. So I just wanted to get angle. Where's planet angle? I think that's what I want. Wait, I want to create a new plane to create those the face of those pipes. Can't I select that plane? Maybe it doesn't have a line. Okay, let's go to plane 1. and create a center line. Only now I got to... Yeah, we were just talking about that. I forgot to send a notification. Plane at angle, this is not working. Do I have... Create a construction plane to an edge, axis, or line at a specified angle. Okay, so this is a line. Okay, oh, this is how this works. And so we want this to be 22 degrees. This is why I got dragged into modding the first time. I'm not afraid to point out when someone didn't work right. Oh, I've been very busy. I haven't played in a new Go server since the stream. I'm working on another project. Not 69, this is 68. Wait, that was 32. This I got dragged into modding the first time. Yeah, we got scammed there, Zerzon. We both got dragged into modding. And this angle... Okay, let me go into another. I'm basically redesigning this as if it was all metal plates, metal pipes, metal tubes. 15 degrees, and I'm using a lot of auxiliary planes. This is one of the most boring parts, so bear with me. I'm using auxiliary planes to get exactly the angle that we want. So now I create a new plane at an angle here. And this is going to be... So, 90 degrees, 102. And yes, this is Autodesk Fusion. This is a free program. It has a free version, which is the one I'm using, and you can use it for creating 3D models. I never used Blender or any of it. I used SolidWorks, Inventor, Fusion, Katia. Plates, pipes, cubes. As long as it's metal, Nano has it. Yes, that's why I have metal music playing. Now I want this plane to be centered on this edge. Okay, I can inspect. No, this won't work. Light mode. I use light mode in almost all apps. This won't work. Okay, I know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this. Oh, but that's the sizes are different here. Okay, I can use the scale. So this is 150. And here the diameter is 20. And this distance is around 7. So 157, so 5 or 6 centimeters. We create a new plane here. 60 centimeters away. Okay, and now I can finally draw what I wanted. They often fall into... No, do not fall into the dark side, Zerzon. Use light mode. I even program in light mode. Even for programming, I use light mode. I'm that evil of a person. What? Yes, I program using light mode. I'm scared now, yeah! My evil side has just showed up. Okay, we have this design. Well, I guess I gotta go now. Bear with me, I'm trying to do this in a way, and I'm not sure if this is going to work as I want. Can't I move that? Because I don't want it to be stuck there. Okay. Okay, now I can just delete all of these guidelines. I just want that shape to be free. Okay. Okay, this is what I wanted. And I think we want this centered. So let's project this, and I think if we overlap this point with this line, and this point with this line... Use this... No, Discord is the one app I do not use in light mode. So, I did something wrong along the way here? In creating my planes? I think I'm overcomplicating stuff. You're not fully evil. Yeah, I think I was overcomplicating stuff. Let's go this one step at a time. We have a line here. Usually, if something is looking too complex, you're doing something wrong. Not a lot of things in 3D modeling are that complex. Okay, plane at an angle. This is 12 degrees, which is 112 since we're measuring from 90. Let's grab that. Oh, you are a relic of the past. You can get deleted. Let's grab this figure here. No need for that line. Okay, copy. You're just different. You're not fully evil. Depends on the days. Can I move this to there now? Coincident, this point with that and this point with... Oh. This tilts. Because maybe getting this angular shape is actually not the best idea. Okay, oh no, I know what I'm going to do. Let's first get you free. Yeah, let's get one of you that's free. What you're doing now, I'm creating my own vital weapon and I'm creating my... I'm trying to find the best way to create the structure that I want, basically. Wait, this plane? No, the plane that I'm working on, how do I look at the plane from the front? Also, this is... I'm still learning this specific software. Okay, this is what I wanted. Project that there. Make this coincident with that. And it's hard to... Oh, this is basically the profile. I'm making I'm making the frame out of steel, and this is how I want my steel profile to look like. That's basically the gist of it. You're using mouse and keyboard, right? Yes! I need to be using mouse and keyboard, or else this would be a not good experience at all. Okay, let me grab this point and rotate it. Now, can I make you vertical? Okay. If I could get that point there. Okay, maybe. Okay, I can get here the center point and just go up. And lock this into this. There are some mouses specifically for 3D modeling that I know, and probably there's some weird options. Okay, and now I want to select that profile and I want to see how this looks. I have a feeling that I shouldn't have started with such a complex shape. And I should have started with a simpler shape. Wait, that the sketch has so many. Okay. And that added more detail. The fact that our primitive shape is already this star can come back to be annoying. And that's one of the reasons. Because now this line doesn't fit down there. And this one, if I go for two sides... Yeah, this one is hitting here precisely. But this one doesn't, because since we are now working at an angle, the shape gets slightly squished. And also the fact that this doesn't hit this center vertex here is also annoying. So I'm thinking about a way to fix this. And I think I got it. Let's delete that. Okay, this plane is an offset, I think, by 150 degrees. Basically, what I'm trying to do is make this shape, like these supports here, but looking sharper, more aggressive, more weapon-like. Looking cooler. Okay, these two sketches are now obsolete, so all we have is a ring. Let's use another method. Let me see if this works. I have another idea. The one ring. Yes. So, and now this goes for... we talked about... Oh, you can see that when I turn on and off my caps lock. I hate using monitor capture. But since this opens so many windows, if I'm capturing the display from the application, there's so much detail that won't go into the stream if I'm capturing the window itself. I am capturing the monitor. I hate using monitor capture on stream. This is the only streams where I use monitor capture. So this was around 100 and... not 102, so 180 minus 12. And the length of this could be like some 60. And now I want to create a construct. Plane a long path, and I think distance type. Wait, is there a way to select just that? Let's use another. Thank you, bye bye. Hope you have a nice day as well. Let's offset this plane. Let's see if I can create some magic here. And now I'm going to create this design. Wait, I think right now if I grab the star shape, because this is being orthogonal, let's go back to the start. Grab this star shape. Get back to this plane. The one ring. One ring to rule them all. One ring to find them. One ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them, in the land of Mordor, where the shadow lies. I don't remember if those are the exact quotes, but I need to freshen up my Lord of the Rings lore game. Okay, now let's see if I can sweep this. Nando sweep, let's go! Because we have a command called a sweep, which is basically take this plane and make it follow this path. That's what a sweep does. It is not happy. I am not happy. Because it is counting that line there as part of the path. Let's go back to the... Yeah, I rewatch the movies from time to time, and I have definitely not watched them in way too long. It's so funny. Nowadays, with all the internet culture, you watch Lord of the Rings, and so many scenes are contaminated, quote-unquote contaminated by memes. You're watching the movie and then they say, one does not simply walk into Mordor. And you're like, it's that line! It's the one does not simply... Or I have no memory of this place. Okay, this works. This works with the kind of style that I'm going for. And I think what fixed it was basically adding the curve. And now we add another one that is like... what was the angle there? Let's delete this. This was just to retrieve some angles. So, this... yeah, the more memes a movie has, the better it is. That's just how it goes. So that's around 40 degrees. So if we go here, grab a feature, get this center axis, and we go for 40 degrees. Not full, partial, 40 degrees. I feel like this, I'm going by eye, this would look better. It's like 30 degrees. I think 40 degrees will work. Let me, and now what I want is to use, how many, I think it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exactly. We get the rectangular pattern, circular pattern. Yes, the circular pattern is within the rectangular pattern tool. If you are used to 3D modeling, you just accept that as a known fact. Oh, this is too even. It doesn't create, yeah, this angle. Yeah, it's a horned ring. This angle doesn't work. Okay. Okay, this I like more. And it's getting, as I said, I wanted to have the sharp metal edge look. Even though it's a buckler, it's Gachiakuta, it needs to be sharp. I think I'm going to... Now, the good thing about me doing this in a not horrible way, like I was doing at start, I think I was complicating things way too much. Now it looks better. You want to cut your finger. This is not a ring, by the way. This is a buckler. We are still in the middle of cooking. This is a buckler. This is not a ring. And hello, Lori. Hope you're having a wonderful time and hope that Tiny Maps have been treating you well. I haven't been following the competition, but I hope your journey is going well. So now what I want is a second ring here. Well, a buckler is a shield, so you want to cut the opponent's. True. That is true. I'm making a shield inspired by my pocket watch. That's literally... That's literally what's happening in this stream right now. Okay, and now what I feel like I should do... Getting some Cito coaching tomorrow, let's go! Cito, massive respects to him because nowadays I'm not streaming a lot of... I'm not streaming a lot of Age of Empires. Cito, if I remember correctly, I think he was the only big Age of Empires streamer that rated me. I mean, I didn't stream a lot during like on Twitch. Most of my Age of Empires streaming period was YouTube. But Cito was the only big Age of Empires player who rated me on Twitch. So shout out Cito. And I think Cito is a great coach. I want to be as ready as I never was before TTL. Let's go. And how's... I mean, I'm not asking this in a mean way because I have no idea. But how's the ranked grind going? Going nice or a bit meh? will they just... If I extrude you, will you work well? No. Do you have the same problem? So what I should do is here. I was getting mixed up with that though. Not much grinding happening. Yeah, I mean, it goes by sometimes, like, by stages. You shouldn't be grinding all the time. Sometimes you grind, other times you dedicate yourself to other things in the game. Yeah, you're grinding, but for other purposes. Okay, these are relics of the past. Okay, let's get the ring here. Oh, that's a great mentality. Especially, the best part about that mentality is the acknowledgement part. The accepting that, okay, if I play ranked, I would be losing my chances. I know I am prone to tilting, to things like that, so it's better to just not play them. I think acknowledgement, because we all have different strengths or flaws, and acknowledging those behavioral trends, to use a fancy word, and acting upon them is a great mentality for any sort of competitive play. Yeah, exactly. It's like, if you know that's gonna happen and you know you're going to beat yourself up, act proactively. Okay, can I get... what's the distance? Like this? Okay, this is a good line. The diameter of this is... Oof, 325.093. How that's divided by 2. Okay, 325.093. Minus 325.093 divided by 2. I fixed it. Only BO has it. Yeah, I assume BO it's Builder. Oh, and thank you, Craven Dust. Yeah, and I mean, and the best practice for something like that is like hopping onto the Discord, getting some practice sets, beating up Arbase. I did play with Arbase the other day. It was my first and only Age of Empires set in 2 months. Amazing how times fly. It was my first set in 2 months. I played with Arbase. He crushed me in the first 2 sets, and then the first 2 matches, and then I did win one, but he was so tired. Good idea, ask. Yeah, that's the trick. If you need to improve, ask Arbase. That's what Arbase is used for. Okay, let's see if this is going to work. Follow this path. Okay, you're angry. Okay, I think I selected the wrong path. Arbase pick coach. Not much of a... Okay, I wish he was here, because I don't like to roast people when they aren't here. I like to roast them in the face. Arbase role is not as much as a coach, it's more of a punching bag. I just wanted to say that, but I'm so mad that he isn't here to listen to this. I don't want to say this behind his back. I want to say this to his face. I'm going to say... I will send him a clip later. I will send him a clip later. Problem solved. That's my biggest issue. I love roasting people, but I don't like roasting people behind their back. If I'm going to roast someone, I do it straight to the face. Okay, and this is going to work. Okay, this should be a little bit bigger. Ooh, and that's going to cause some issues. He's a rhino, he has thick skin. Okay, that's going to cause a few issues, but not massive. What is this detail here? Okay, let's... one problem at a time. This, I also don't like this angle going back into being this. Okay, I'm going to shift this around a little bit. Since today I'm being creative, I'm sorry, but this is going to have a lot of back and forth of me changing my mind. Because I don't like how this looks, going back into that. It's not very bucklery. I have a better plan, and that's going to require me to delete some of the steps I made. This gets deleted, this gets deleted, this gets deleted. Okay, this is the stage where I wanted to be. Okay, one of the problems we had was this line going here. Oh, don't be sorry, that's interesting. Yeah, it's a creative process. It's much less linear than trying to follow a regular design. And what I'm going to do is, instead of having this going that way, I want this to go down. Down, 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 down. So this looks like this front part will be protruding away from the rest of the buckler. I want this to be original, like to have some... okay, I think this should be a little bit longer. I want this to have some references to the original clock, but also that you can tell that, okay, this is a new design. Let's make this measurement be something. Oh, that's going to overconstrain. So we can remove this constraint, and now we can make this measurement be something. Let's make it be 155 millimeters. And now we revolve that. Get visible, please. Yes. We select the axis here. Okay, and here we want a top view that has that shape. So let's make this invisible now. Create a view from the top. Copy that shape. Let's move it there for a while. Project this line. Grab the center point. And make this. Oh, what's this? Hello, hello, Zumu! Welcome, I'm creating my own Jinky, my vital instrument from Gachiakuta. Why? This is not the plane I wanted to be on. Ah! Sorry! Wrong plane. I'm just going to finish this little detail and then I'll give you a short introduction because I do know you're a fellow 3D... a fellow 3D... appreciator. Well, let's going to actually... So I want to give you a bit of context. This measurement, instead of being the 12 millimeters that come from that, let's make it become an actual measurement as well. 31. Because now we can get this offset. Yeah, I've decided to do more 3D modeling that instead of being like, okay, I'm following this design, I'm going to try to mimic this object, I want to do creative 3D modeling. Like, I'm not good with pen and paper or traditional drawing. I'm like, okay, but I can create creative art, bring the creativity into 3D modeling, create new stuff. And I'm excited by that prospect, and today, what you are witnessing here is my first ever attempt at doing so. Oops. I didn't want to go into this sketch. My first ever attempt at being creative in 3D modeling. So it's having a lot of back and forth, but I'm enjoying the process. Creativity. Yippee! I'm trying. You do the yippies when I show up at your streams, because you were streaming Skate the other day, and I did have a great time seeing you. someone who appreciates the culture appreciating the culture is always cool. Your yippies are on point. Okay, this looks a lot better than what I previously had. Having this going down instead of back up looks a lot more menacing. So, what's the goal for today? Zumu, I don't know if you've ever watched the Gachiakuta, but in Gachiakuta, one of the main mechanics is converting items into their weapons. And I'm converting my humble pocket watch into a weapon. This is kind of like a buckler whose design is going to be inspired by my pocket watch. I'm making it a lot more sharp, aggressive, because that's the Gachiakuta design styles. And let me just show you a magic trick. I don't know how much you've worked with parametric design, but I think you'll enjoy this. For test for 3D printing, okay, it's this one. I have a lot of designs now. I really like 3D modeling. And President Toast was also not here when I showed you. This is a Go board, and I made it completely parametric for tests. And making things completely parametric is really cool, because now I have this tab that says parameters. And, for example, these aren't squares, these are rectangles. And if I want to make them more, like, long, 25 millimeters. It updated, and now it's longer. Let's make some, like, the other side, 10 millimeters. And it just updates everything accordingly. Like, these are the outer dimensions, because I didn't make them interdependent. I could have. This is so powerful. This is what I use a lot in engineering. You see these grooves? Imagine I 3D print them, and then the grooves are not visible. Well, they're 1 millimeter. Let's make them 3 millimeters. Okay, it's complaining because of this. It's the size of these points. Let's make these points now 7 millimeters. Yeah, and it just updates everything automatically. Thick. Yeah, even the thickness. Like, I can make this become a brick of a Go board. I mean, this is not that brick. Let's... Why aren't you... Oh, I erased the millimeters. Yeah, parametric design is so cool. Why aren't you... This is the thickness. Why aren't you turning to... Oh, I know what it's happening. Okay, because I modeled the thickness differently. This is a consequence of me knowing that, okay, my thickness will never go over this value, and now I'm going over it. Too thick to cal- Yeah, because that's the way I... basically, it's the way I wrote the parameters. I wrote it in a way that it never goes over 20 millimeters. In hindsight, I should have made it different, so this design is not 100% future-proof. The main parametric design I ever made was gears. I made parametric gears, and in my area of work, in robotics, it was so useful. Okay, let's get this thing repeating. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own parameters. True. So true and real. I mean, I should have maybe, if I delete these two, will you all break? Oh. Okay, we are being a bit redundant, because this is going to overlap a little bit, but we got 2, and we go for a partial of, I think it was 30 degrees. Oh, 20? Yes. And now we get more parameters like this. Select the center axis, and this is just... oh, selected 2 objects. Select this. Select the center axis. Oh, this object must also be selected. Okay. And this is 6 copies. Okay. My buckler clock is starting to take shape. But yeah, speaking about like, we have rock music, we have a lot of edgy stuff going on. I did go yesterday to watch the Chainsaw Man movie, and I had such a great time. It was really cool. So, certainly edgy. Yeah, this is way... This looks like, instead of looking like the face of a pocket watch, this reminds me of the rim of a car wheel. I just realized it looks like a jante de pneu, using good Portuguese. A very edgy jante. True. Now I'm thinking, because I don't want this to be a flat face. Wheel of Time ref. I think if this is just a flat face, it's going to look very boring. I also don't want to over-design it. I think the center ring and these parts are really well translated into something that looks better. Do I do this flat? I'm thinking. I'm going to start with it flat and then maybe start with the flatness and add details on top. And what I'm going to do for this flatness is getting this angle here like 9mm, and this can be like 2mm, and then have this angling like 20 degrees. I'm going to see how this looks. A lot of angles going on today. Not angles, the guy from sociology. There is a guy called Angles in sociology. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about angles, the measurement. Okay, and if we revolve this, okay, that shape isn't complete. It's like in that point. If we now revolve this, how does this look? I mean, I don't dislike it. I think it needs something, but honestly, I thought this was going to look worse. What's this detail here? I think it's just an angle. Yeah. I thought this was going to look worse, if I'm honest. And I feel like it still keeps the vibe from the clock face. I feel like I shouldn't overcomplicate that part. Maybe make it a little bit thinner. But honestly, this looks better than what I assumed. Definitely. And as I said, I don't want to over-design this. Maybe 60? Like 6 centimeters will be enough? Okay, I think I like this. I think I like this as my main... has the lead of the clock. Because this is going to... Yeah, maybe later I add more stuff to it. Maybe a bit of texture. Could be nice. But for now I'm going to leave it as is. And probably add some texture based on what it's looking like. It is definitely looking sharp. Okay, and now I won't have this back part. But I do want to have the clock face behind this. So this is going to be actually like closed, with the clock face showing up behind this, and then having a connection to my wrist. Do I make this? I'm going to make this a different part, just so it's easy to manage and to edit things. This is all one part, and in terms of engineering I would make it as one part alone, but I think as a creative process, it's going to be easier to have this as another part. So let me inspect this diameter. 4.26703. I hate those numbers. Oh, Kradentost, I summoned thy. Write this in chat. Use thine powers to write this number in chat. I mean, I can do it myself. The point is in the wrong place, but I can use it. Thank you, thank you. Thine powers of writing in chat have been used for good. And Zumo using the Portuguese number. Okay, context from engineering work. The fact that in Portuguese the comma is the decimal separator, but in most international things it is the point, has given me quite a few headaches. It has given me clock weapon face. It has given me quite a few headaches. Yeah, because for my Microsoft Excel is in Portuguese, so it uses the comma, and I know I can change it, but I have some documents in Portuguese that use commas, others use the point, and then I have Python programs interacting with Excel spreadsheets, and it's like, ah! I mean, it's not that bad, but sometimes it's like, wait, why is it worry? I need to... It's more annoying from time to... I never had a serious problem because of it, but I've had a lot of mild inconveniences. Okay, and here, this will be the clock face, and I feel like behind, I don't want to have the thickness of the entire clock. I'm just going to add like the straps that would go onto my wrist. Yeah, because this is a buckler. Oh, I mean, bucklers... Yeah, not straps for the wrist. I think a lot of bucklers have like a handle, because you grab with the hand. You want the mobility of the hand. They're not a strap to your arm kind of shield. They're a grab with your hand, because this is a parrying. The focus of my weapon is to parry, and to better parry you want the wrist mobility. That's a good thing also. I'm not a master of martial arts, but I've practiced quite a lot of martial arts. And that helps me because a lot of design elements in weapons have a reason to be there, and if you respect them, they will look better and make more sense. Oh, I had no idea about that difference. That sounds annoying in collaborative international engineering projects. It is. You're absolutely right, it is. I'm just going to show you, because we are talking about the... I'm talking about realistic weapon design. I have here the Vil sword that I made for Wilhelm. And, for example, this is a rapier, a thrusting weapon. And a lot of rapiers have this sort of cage around the wrist guard. And, for example, at first, since Wilhelm is related to feathers, to plumes, I thought about making a saber. But sabers are cutting weapons. When you're using cutting weapons, you want wrist mobility. So you can't have a guard as complex like this, because it would impact your wrist mobility. That's why I made a rapier, because it is a thrusting weapon, and since it's a thrusting weapon, you need less wrist flexibility. This is the kind of things that I think about when designing stuff, creative weapons and things like that. And I am sensible to these things because first I'm writing a fantasy book, which helps. I deal with a lot of this stuff in my book. And because I did a lot of martial arts. Namely, weaponed martial arts. Like Hema, Kendo, Naginata. Okay, I can make it like this. Let's get some dimensions. Let's make this with 30 and just add some fillets here. 15. I'm going to see how this looks. I studied the blade, yes. I studied the art of the blade. While you were out there skateboarding and having fun with your friends, I studied the art of the blade. Okay, 20 millimeters I think works fine. And now the weapon master, yes. And like, I studied some blades, I didn't practice with every weapon, but it's like when you start practicing with some weapons, you start developing your brain towards weapon designs and things like that. For example, one thing that is vital in combat is distances. Distances are so important, like measuring distances from your opponent to you and being aware of, okay, I'm here, he's there, I'm using this weapon, he's using that weapon. This is my reach, this is his reach. Okay, I think, yeah, I'm deleting that line because I want to use this as a guideline. So I can... Oh, but should this... I need to be coherent. Oh, but I'm grabbing this. If I'm grabbing this and it's edgy, it's gonna hurt. I'm thinking... Okay, but a circle is too round. Maybe not a spiky square, but a square nonetheless. Oops, caps lock. I think this should be a square and not a circle. Maybe. I'm going to see how it looks. I think it needs to be further... So let's make it further further like... Oh. You can make edges on the curves and not exactly where you grab. Ooh, I can... Oh, I can make that and I don't think it's going to be that hard. Okay, an ellipse. Ooh. Or spikes coming out of it. Nice. I like that we're all cooking here. Okay, this is an... Okay. I have this point. Let's add a dimension from this point to this point. No, from this to this. And it's 50? And from this to this. Okay, 55. Let's make this vertical. This is vertical. This is 55. This is 55. This is constrained to this. This is constrained to this. Oh, this shouldn't exist. Just making all the parameters work better. Okay, now this is going to be easier to update. Spikes coming out of it. Okay, I just want to assemble it here. Insert component. I'm starting to have so many. Clock weapon face. That feels like, hey, clock face. That sounds like like I'm insulting someone. Cannot update. Why? Okay, now you can. Let's assemble this. Avengers, assemble! It looks like the lid of a sewer or something. Yeah, but this is kind of the shape I'm imagining for my buckler weapon. Okay, I think here... If it goes like... This shouldn't be this flat. I'm thinking if this should be like... If this should come over here more, and then come back inside. Oh, which means, okay, from a side view, I'm thinking if the weapon should be more... This... I grab that and more like this. Okay, how does my wrist feel around that? I'm moving my hand here. I think I can make it work like that. But you lose a lot of arm mobility if the metal goes too much there. Because, yeah, a lot of the backs of these bucklers are... I mean, I can make this idea go, and this be less going in. But I think this needs volume. A little bit. This lid here. I'm not... I think this looks very fair. And I think... Okay, now... Can I edit that weapon here? Okay, I think I should go here. Because I think to solve this issue, I can just increase this. And then it's the side. this, and I go for a chamfer, and we go for distance and an angle. The distance is the 40 millimeters, and the angle we will adjust accordingly. Is that the correct orientation? Oh, and I think the angle is already spot on. Yeah, this is more of what I had in line. And now making this... Okay, let's remove the handle. It was a good reference to help there, but I'm going to add a better one. Now, I want this to go a little bit... That's a bricky buckle. Yeah, I wanted to make it look more clocky. Maybe it's a little bit too thick. It's, as Aku, the shape-shifting master of darkness, would say, extra thick. Maybe a little bit less thick. And maybe we could change the design of this to be less blocky. This, like, because it contrasts so much. This is very well designed in my opinion, and then block. So maybe we scratch this. Okay, let's make this thin. And then think on top of this. Because I think this face should be here. I think this face should be here because this is the front. But for the back, we should go for something completely different compared to what I was doing. I think we should do for something more stylized for the sides and the back. There's also, I need the chain support here on top. I'm thinking, what am I going to do in what order? Okay, we've reached a complex stage of the design here. Because, yeah, definitely don't want this look here. Oh. Okay, I had an idea. This was my evil laughter, because I have no idea how this is going to look. Let's see. Let me grab this. Okay, this. I have no... Okay, I'm gonna cook hard. Trust. Are you trusting? Okay, that sounds wrong. Never mind what I just said. Should this be angled a little bit? Well, this should be... Oh, maybe this should be... Oh, wait. I'm going to make this even more complex. Okay, let's get a... You believe, okay. You see the vision. No, this is going to be... I'm going to first try a mild vision, but then I have an insane one. That I have no idea if it's gonna look good or not. So 20 degrees. And now this is gonna go crazy. Trust. Believe in the me who believes in you. Though that's another thing with the composer from the Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann soundtrack and everything. The vibes of Gachiakuta remind me so much of Gurren Lagann, which is great because that's a great show. Okay, let's go for this and extrude to object. Okay, now I want to reduce it a little bit. This is a little bit too long. I can just, I mean, not even need to draw that. I can now just go here. Let's reduce this a little bit. Let's see how this looks. I grab this pattern. Yeah, Gachiakuta is more grounded. Yeah, both have a lot of relation to the ground. But... okay, how is this going to work? I'm curious. Okay. This doesn't look that bad. Okay, let me finish from this sketch. Let's update this. Okay, first we need to save here. I always forget. Yo, yeah, this kind of looks fire. And it fits really well with the style of Gachiakuta. I like this. I like how this turned out. Probably now this is starting to look a little bit underdeveloped. This part I can add later, but I mean, it keeps the theme, like the edges, the same size and everything. And I like how it looks. A bottle cap. Beer carica. That's a bottle cap. Also known as the currency for Fallout. Yeah. Like spikes around the outside. Oh, that could work for later on. Some more details. But I think this was a good creative idea to make... like, it has the same shape that I was going for, but with a lot more texture. The lack of texture in such a wide surface was really bothering me. Okay, we are cooking. Now I feel like I can add a... ooh, now I can add a rim here and make the handle... ooh, I like... and make a cool handle in the back. Okay, I like how this may look. Let's keep going, let's keep... I was stuck for a while, but now inspiration is striking again. Let's grab that shape here. It's funny because I designed this shape at the start of the stream. And the shape has been carrying me my entire design. All my design is based around this little star that I created from the get-go. And by the way, my idea here with this, if you saw the thumbnail, I have my eyes like shining red and everything. I want to actually make this a toggle for my VTuber, where I get my... where my eyes turn red and I get... or red or another color. But basically a toggle where it's like, okay, he's using his power, he's using his instrument. Yeah, that's the goal. I'm developing, like, I have my best toggle. It isn't in this scene the best toggle, which is the 3D rotator Nando, but that's made in, that's like a video, it's not in, maybe I think I can put it into VTuber Studio, and that will make my life a lot easier. Because that one is an amazing one, but the fact that I set it up on OBS side, I'm going to look into it. But yeah, I want to have more cool toggles to show from time to time, and to have them on the VTube Studios side. And maybe, who knows, if Evil Nano rotates chat instead. If things go well, I can even add them as like Twitch redeems. Oh no, I mean I can just... Will this... Oh, I think I just need to draw that shape from top view. So I don't want to have... I don't want to have this staring at me all the time. Okay. Oh, I think... Okay, this is easy to solve. Wait. No, this is actually super easy to solve. Okay, I'm in this one. Yeah. I was about to overcomplicate. I just need to extrude to object. That's all I need to do. Oh no. I mean, that's also not that difficult, I think. If I do... Oh, okay, that's not a... Let's go to the... to this plane. I know how to... It's still strange for me to... It was my own idea to be streaming with more rock style of music playing. Okay, I don't think that was a good choice of thing to go for, because they aren't all of them the same. Okay, I think I'm doing way too much. How would I don't think this works. Just chamfering this. I mean... Oops. Honestly? I don't dislike this at all. Just adding a simple chamfer. But will this collaborate? Sometimes patterns and chamfers don't go along that well. Let's see. Features, chamfer, axis, this, and it is 90. No. It did not compute. Okay, but I can do... Not bodies. Okay, this chamfer... Nah, no me gusta. Okay, what is the one that I'm drawing in this one? I think if I just project this, okay, this is going to be easy. And then I can extrude this to object this. Why? Nande. Yeah, patterns and chamfers, sometimes they work, but they are often a little bit annoying. Okay, let's do this. We're back at the at our starting line. Okay, and now is this one of... Let's create a model, drawing here. Oh, not here, sorry. On this plane. Is this what the right plane? I mean, it is literally the right plane. Okay, and... Okay, but it doesn't have to be the exact plane. Okay, what I want is to get this. And we get this arch. I mean, yeah, this just goes horizontal here. If if I get something like this with that, and I cut it, I created an annoying thing. Ooh, calm down, calm down. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm not liking this alternative. I do want to solve this. I mean, I think I'm overcomplicating. I think there is a way easier way to solve this. Instead of adjusting those shapes, what's our first shape? Let me just confirm. It's that one. Oops, sorry. Okay, it's this line that I want. And I can just make, like, go to there. Okay, and this doesn't matter because this shape will be inside, I think. And if we revolve this and we join. Oh, okay, no, that's... I think that was correct. Yeah, I think this... What are those? Okay, no, those are fine. Those are that... Yeah, I think this just... I think this solves the issue just fine. If I'm honest. Yeah, and yeah, as I said before, not overcomplicate. And now what I was thinking is that instead of having a solid base, like a solid backline here, I can already make my handle be a pipe coming from here and having this be more hollowish. Okay, and this looks like the shape, the overall shape does look like a pocket watch. I do want to have the watch, the face of the watch here. What time is it? Okay. Like, the problem is, I want to finish this today, and hello, Guts! Pretty cool, thank you. I want to finish this today, but I don't want to rush it, and I am having a good time. Time flies when you 3D model. Okay, let me grab the first shape once again. This... What drawing has that shape? At this point, almost all of them. And I'm picking all the sketches that don't have the shape. Okay, this one has it. The shape. And it didn't copy. Or am I not in a sketch? Ah, okay. A Reese's cup, I see it! I 100% see it. By the way, when I was in Canada, this time around, I did have Reese's cups for the first time in my life. Oh, but this is the part... Okay, this is the part where I grab. So let's make this part an... Not an ellipse, but... Oh, I know. I know. I got an idea. To make this coherent with our design style, but like a little bit less aggressive for my hands. Ooh, speaking of aggressive for my hands, okay. If this turns really cool, I need to 3D print this and actually make this. Like, actually have this as my... When I cosplay as the Nando, because I have done so before, I can cosplay Gachakuta's version of the Nando and people will be so confused, like, what's your cosplay, bro? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just cosplaying as... Yes, 3D print. Yeah, that's such a good idea. So, 4mm. 2.9. That's... I'm actually really... liking that idea. And then I can make, like, at the end, a whole video showcasing, okay, how I made my own, and going from this stream into the 3D printing. Is there a max size to 3D print? Yes. But what you can do is, if you have knowledge of 3D printing, I do, and Zumu does as well, is that you can divide your print into parts, and then you assemble it. And if you're experienced, you divide it, like, you can make the assembly process really easy. The assembly process can be really complex or really easy depending on how you do it. And if you're experienced, you can even add some reinforcements, use metal rods, like threaded rods, to reinforce. A lot of cosplayers do that in cosplay props. So there's a lot of tricks to make prints more sturdy and assemblable. Having pins to help with the orientation of connections. Okay, and now this shape here. And yeah, I made it wider because this way it follows the ellipse shape of more of a kind of grip. But it is more comfortable to hold. This is going to be the handle. And I'm thinking here, it kind of like splits and goes there, just to have a nice shape, like... That's the kind of thing I'm going for. Is this too close? Nah, my hand fits there perfectly, I think. How... Like a Y on each side. Yeah, like on Y. Yeah, exactly. How distance is this to here? 31mm. How much is that? Okay, my hand fits. Okay, my hand fits. Close. Not a lot of mobility. Because when you're squeezing your hand, it does get a little bit thicker. Nah, but I honestly think it works. And I like the fact that this is like flush with his face. Because we already have texture coming out on this side. Okay, let me... This is going to be useful for later on. This is no longer needed. This, I keep opening that by mistake and I don't need. You already have this with a lot of texture going out, and I feel like here it doesn't need to... it's good to have the hand covered. Yeah, okay, I like that. Now, do I make this 45 degrees? I think I do. So let's get this center line here on a sketch. And now we plane at an angle. We get this the good old 45-degree treatment. Let me grab one of our cool shape. You are not a cool shape, you're a relic from the past. I mean, I can delete you. Yep. Now everything burns. Hello? Okay, okay. We are okay. I still need to think about... I haven't thought about textures or color or anything yet. Okay, let me go to these sketches instead. Why are you visible? I haven't thought about like the colors or anything. If I'm going to keep them still like they are right now, or if I go for something different. Could go for darker colors, more golden, more... Haven't... Need to think about that. You're not a cool shape, you're a relic from the past, I can delete you. That's such a good out of context quote. It sounds like something like from Warhammer, from an Adeptus Mechanicus. You are but a relic from the past. Delete you. Why is this... hello? Oh, sorry. So back in black, I was missing your messages. Why not extract a curved surface, extrapolate, split the corner, the extrapolate the surface on that you made the circle on. Sorry, I was so... I hope I haven't ignored your message for too long. This is Autodesk Fusion. And welcome to the stream. I was more focused on the YouTube side of things. I'm using Autodesk Fusion 360. Because some of the softwares I have licenses to do research and everything, but not to stream on. And streaming on this software does not violate any licensing situations. That's the main reason why I use this one on the streams. And it is similar to Inventor, the main software that I use. I don't want this to go all the way there, because this is going to be kind of like a Y shape. I need to think about how that shape meets there. Because I want this then to turn square. But this was not well thought out. Probably should project this. And can you move up and down? How... Okay, I think you're very stuck because of these points. And now... Ooh. Okay, let's copy and paste you. So we get rid of the constraints. Okay, oops. Okay, now we have that shape projected onto this. And getting this point there should fix the issue we were having. Just need to select the correct shapes. What you can do is doing the Y shape curved and tangent to the midline. Oh, more like this. Yeah, because this is... Yeah, my main problem right now is how this fits here. Okay, I think I'm going to use... I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try another way. Okay, I have that shape. And now 35, 45, that works. And let's make this go to here. Let's see how this looks as a sweep. Just this side. Okay. And now what I'm thinking is will this work nicely? Where's... I always misplace the mirror command in this one. Okay, no, that's split body. Create... Where's... Okay, the pattern is here usually. Rectangular pattern is close to the mirror. Mirror. Ah, but this is a feature. Okay, that's not going to work. Because all of that is the same feature. I mean, I kind of don't dislike how this looks with only the half part. But I think... Okay, maybe if this joins... Okay. I think I got an idea of some... of a design that I will like for this. Let me get this plane here. And just project this shape. Project this. Okay, this. I'm getting the shape I want. Project this. Having a hard time. Okay, now I can unselect. Ah, and now I unselect you. Nice. Oops. Wait, why isn't this? Okay, I got the wrong angle here. This is... Yeah, this is a 45 degree. Huh? Why is this in the sky? Oh, I think this is a relic. The relic from the past. Let's delete this sketch. Let me select that. Okay. Okay, now I want to mirror this. Along this plane. Oops, not that one yet. This one. Yeah, now this we can just fill in. Let me select that face. To object. Let me select that side. How long is that? I mean, I can just go spec from here to here. 16 millimeters. So this is a join minus 16 millimeters. Now, do I like this? I think I prefer it with this getting completed. I was thinking about like making... Okay, it splits and it's only half, but I think having the complete profile looks better. But now that's not that hard to do, I believe. It reminds me of a diapason. I can see it! Where's our original sketch for this? It was this shape and we grabbed that. If we grab this from the get-go... Wait. No, this is too far. Where's the sweep? This is the path of the sweep. This is what we sweep. Okay, I don't think this has the mirror. Just going around on a roundabout way of doing it. This was 4 millimeters, and I think it's 2.9 to the side. I think adjusting this will break a lot of stuff. $2.9. No, 4. 2.9. Arch. Tick, tick, tick. And now when we do the sweep back here, we also select... Ooh. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. This... No. This and this. How many things will break? Not that many, and I prefer how this looks now. Just need to fix that there. What's causing that issue? I mean, can I just do a quick fix like this? Good enough. Can I make this invisible? I think I can. Oh, or no, I can. Okay, I'm going to add a hole here just so I can see this side. Okay, let's fix this. Quick fix, yeah. Loft here. And now I just mirror all of that. Where does this all start? That was definitely... Probably I should have listened to Back in Black's advice. This is definitely an over complicated way of doing things. Did I select everything? Okay, this was not happy. Ah, my leg. is getting numb. I was sitting atop my own leg, and now I regret every. Oh, this is kinda silly. Is this an? No. Don't have numb legs, you need them, true. I mean, this works. I don't think the lofts will work, but let's try. Okay. Okay, now where's the thing we need to hide the face? I think it was this one. Yes. I feel like it's missing something. I think another ring here that does like a ring here. And some rims to the outside will help. I feel like it's too bare bones. Especially looking at it as a whole. As a whole, not a hole. Like the front side is more detailed than the back side. I feel like it needs a little bit more pizzazz. I still need to do something about... Okay, I think I know what to do here. Nothing can go wrong with more rings! Exactly, that's how you design stuff. Just add more stuff. Okay, I think here, what could work... Okay, not like this. What are my planes? Want a plane at an angle here. It's like 20 degrees. Wait, that's not the plane that I wanted. No, I want a plane that's perpendicular to that, so that's like 70 degrees. Yeah. And what I want is to add a little bit of texture to this wall. And what I'm going to do is simple... but this... Okay, let's stop this. And get an offset plane from this one to kind of like the center of this. Minus 195. Okay, okay. And now what I want is to make a very simple shape here. I want it to have 0 degrees. Okay, 1, 0. 1, 0. Okay, 180. Okay, what's the distance from this point to here? Let's get like 1.3. And then what I want to do... Okay, I don't think that's a complete shape. One warning sketch 14. What's happening here? Okay, that's not happy. That Let's remove that. That part is not happy that we are... We can add it back later on. Do you work now? Let's remake you. Okay, let's go back here. 0 degrees, 1 millimeter. We can even get this point and go 2 millimeters to the other side at 180. Why does this have warnings? What are these warnings that you speak of? They make me very confused, because I feel like I'm doing nothing wrong. Sometimes I'm very aware that I'm doing wrong things. Now I'm having warnings popping up. And I don't know why. Let's delete this sketch and create it again. Warning, are you sure you want this much edge? True. Like, let's go for random stuff. No warnings showing up now. Okay. So let's make this horizontal. Let's make this horizontal. You know, instead of having all of this mess, let's make this point connect to this point. So far, so good. And are you recognized as a shape? No. Why? Everything else is, like, the entire universe is a shape except you. Why are you not a shape? Huh? I do not understand. Why is the entire universe but you a shape? I work in SolidWorks and Gachiakuta, and there are always problems when I have lines overlapping in sketches. Yeah, I use mostly Inventor. This is not my main software, this is just for streaming. But things are definitely unhappy right now in the software. Okay, what I'm going to do... I'm going to make this... I'm going just to adjust things a little bit. You can go there. And I'm going to draw there instead. Let's project this line. And what I want is just to create a small triangle here. Please, software. Let me make this like both have the same. I'm going to... I mean, I can use distances, 3.7. And this having the same distance. Oh, doesn't it work like that? Okay. .2, I guess. Oh, these aren't... You can go there. You can go there. Are you... Can I select you? Okay, okay. All of this just so I could add a little bit of texture onto that face. Like this. I do not want him to actually go to the edge. And then I can add just a chamfer here. I mean, I had the measurement before, but I forgot how much I put it. X's. Where are they? Oh wait, distance? No. No, wait. No, circular, sorry. I could do... Oh, that's a good idea. To make the Minotaur marking on this. Ooh, but now... Because they are aligned with one of them and not the other. Now I feel like I wanted to do this at the center of this part. Like here, actually. But I like that idea of making this be like the markings. So all of that work, and now we're actually going to change our plane a little bit. Wait, can I... Wait. Let's redo all of this. Can I do a... Let's redo more stuff so we have the chamfer back. Is there a way to make a pattern where I remove the original? I don't think that works in this type of... What I can do is that, okay, you divide each... This could be the small divisions, and then I do correctly the big one. So this will be the... Let's make this smaller. True, exactly. The work was part of the process. Ooh, but the smaller one could... Nah, I think I'm going to... Because the smaller one, should it go from the outside? You can even do minute markings with smaller lines if that's not too much. Yeah, I'm going to add the smaller marks. Definitely. But yeah, I'm thinking... Yeah, okay, the smaller... This will... The one I designed first will actually be the smaller ones. And this is 60 marks. We can then adjust the size, because since we already made this... With the center axis... And we get 60 of them. Nah, this doesn't work because of angles, the big ones will not be aligned. So even the small ones are not aligned with the center here. Yeah, I'm going to have to do this differently. I mean, it's not that complicated, it's just having to do the same thing again, and it was giving me issues. That can we add to this plane have more than one angle at the same? I don't think so. Let's make this different then. That's why at the start I wanted not to have this line being a center line, but this one, and the decision of me abandoning that now came back to haunt me. This is... If this is 30 degrees, this should be 15, right? Or is that not 30? That's like 20. Yeah, that's 20, so this is 10 degrees. Yep. And now... Okay, I need to draw a line there. Plane at an angle. We take this line and we rotate this the minus 110, I think works to be orthogonal with this face. And now we offset it because we want the markings to come from this side. And let's get our markings in. So. 4 millimeters, I guess. This is kind of like how we did it before. It's gonna be 5. Oops. Oops. Oh no, I don't want you there. This can be 5 millimeters as well. These should all be well defined. Oops. And now we just extrude this way. Wait. I mean, but now that I have an angle at the start, I think I went 10 degrees the wrong way. And I think this is too deep. But okay, now that we have the angle, it's this one, I just need to... Okay. This is still not the correct spot. Isn't this... Why is that 19.3 degrees? Oh, because... Okay, these ones are 20 degrees. That's... Probably this is like 90... This is not the original. Okay, so if I get here like 100 degrees... my brain is... My brain is frying a little bit. Because I think this now is just not... Okay, let's go back to the 10 degrees that we had. And let's check the angle from... Let's do this the right way. Check the angle from this to this. 10.8. From this to this. But that's measuring more than one angle. Okay. Can I do like mid-plane between two planes? Yes. Oh, but these aren't... In my other software I could have just selected those two faces there. Okay, that's... Okay, I think that's 10 degrees to that side. If I just make it 10 degrees to this side, it should work. Maybe. Please. Hi, Luke, speak so far. Thank you, thank you. I am struggling a little bit now with technical side of stuff. I'm definitely... If things are going too complicated, I'm not doing this the right way. This shouldn't be this tricky. And hello, Afonso Castro. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. My brain just malfunctioned here for a bit. I'm rebooting my own mental operative system. Let's just go here. Let's project this line. And go here. That's 110 degrees. Yes. We make these two have the same size. Like 300. 300. And we add this line here. And we just use this as the basis for our plane. Plane at an angle here. This is way easier. This is way better. What? Definitely need to get back into the groove of 3D modeling. 3, I was liking this before. Like the 3. And then getting these to be like 3.2. So that's 4 maybe. No, 3.6. 3.6. Wait, was that asymmetrical? Wait, that looks asymmetrical. 3.6, 3.6. Because that's not connected to there. And are you? Yes. I think that's symmetrical. I wish there was a new Gachiakuta episode every day. It's only been 3 days since the last one, and watching this is making it unbearable to wait for the next one. I know! Such a good one. Such a, one of the best. I feel like I haven't watched a shonen that excited me this much for ages. Minus 110. Okay. We get a chamfer here. Let's make this a little bit smaller. Minus 112. Let's chamfer this once again. 3mm, no, 2.9. Yeah, probably 2.99999 is like the max we can go. You got this, let's go. Peak riff in the OST right now. Thank you. Yeah, I thought that my usual classical songs would not fit Gachiakuta that well, so I just decided to go for something more. Okay, and now this is starting to look better. More like the minute markings. And now I can make the small ones. I can... Okay. Let's suppress this feature. Oh, let's go back in time. Rewind. And we can create a new sketch on this face, on this plane. Now that we have the correct plane. Project this once again. Get this from here to here. Get this, and this time we're going to go for like 2mm. I like the duality of the challenge, like that I have to think, okay, what do I model and then how do I model it? Okay, I think those are... And now we extrude these. Yeah, and I think only up to there is okay. And we chamfer these like... Modify chamfer. Like 1.99999. Yep. Good that you're not wasting time on the white done it. The who done it, the white done it. Now we get this, and we get 60 of these. And now we can go back here. Okay. This is looking fire. This is looking really nice in my opinion. I think this works way better than having the flat face. Pretty epic. And let's get back the back plate. Clock weapon face. Really cool, thank you. Yeah, this just to show you. Okay, sorry. Yeah, this is inspired on this pocket watch. It's my Gachiakuta-Inspired inspired on that pocket watch. And this is kind of like a shield. And this back part that I'm making right now is like the handle of the shield. Assemble. Wait. Constraint component, and let's see if I can get... Can I get like the origin, like the center axis? I mean, probably if I can get this face and this. Okay. Yeah, and this is what we have so far. I'm going to add more details to the back still, but now I want to add the... Before working more on the back, I want to add the chain. I'm going to add more details here still, but I want to add the chain part to the... like this part here. It's going to be a... Not with this design, but it's going to hold a chain that connects to a sword. It's going to be a set with a buckler and a sword, and the buckler and the sword will be connected by a chain. This right now, yeah, this can rotate. So we're going to have the chain releasing from the top. So this should be like, I mean, we can adjust that later. Or now. No, it's better to adjust it now, because this will be... The chain will be coming from this part. So, constraint. Yes, constrained. Geometry 1 will be this. Geometry 2 will be... And this is like the midnight line. Angular. Angle reference. What's the angle reference? Let me try that again. Constrained, angle. Sorry. So geometry 1 is this, and geometry 2 is this. I get like... I don't think this will work. Oh, I think this is already working. I don't think I need that angle for anything. If I look at this way... Yeah, these are aligned with this. This is what I want. I think this just works. So let's add the minute part, the chain part coming out from the top. When I did say that was going to come out from here. So let's get this plane. And I'm thinking, how do I do this design? Probably this is just going to be this same shape, but bigger. I'm thinking something like it goes from here to here. 25. $50. And like having here 10. Let's add dimensions to this. 10. 15. I don't think that arch is going to look nice. It doesn't even look. Arch. Okay, this. That's 8 millimeters here. 15. But yeah, Afonso, you're the Gachiakuta expert. You're the one who needs to tell me if this would be a weapon that you could see working on the series. If you could see my counter clock showing up in the show. Let's join. If I go to and add here, will this work? No, because of that part is missing. Just want to see how this looks in the overall assembly. I think this design has been used a lot. And here it should be something different. I'm thinking converting this shape, since that's more circular, into an octagon version of it. And it needs to come more to the back, more to the front. Into the front it is okay, to the back it needs to come more. So let's edit this. 65. Okay, we can delete all of these. Oh, why is this not making a rectangular but a weird shape? Probably I selected something. Okay, now I deleted things I didn't want to delete. And what I'm thinking, so this is 65 divided by 2 to get the center. Let's get something here at 135 degrees, which is also 65 divided by 2. And we get the arch like this. Let me just check one thing here. Real quick. Okay. Yeah, now I want to make this a circular pattern all around this axis with 8 repeating patterns. Yeah, this is more the shape I had in mind. We'll fix that later. I mean, I think I should fix that now, but let's see how it looks. Oh yeah, much better, in my opinion. Just want to fix that mistake there. But I like how this is turning out. We can I think it's better. Wait, let's go back into this. And this extrude should be a new body. Yes, this extrude right here should be a new body. Okay, and this. Oh, now all of these are new bodies. That's annoying. That's not... Okay, let's do... Can I do the pattern in here? I can. So let's select these objects, center point these, and create 8. Okay, much better. And now here we select all of these. And this is all the new body. And this makes it so that now we can make operations on this body alone. And that's going to make solving things like this error here a lot easier. Because we can just, for example, grab this plane. Oops, not that one. I am starting to get a little bit tired, so I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this today. But I am having a great time designing this. That's also why I'm taking longer. One is lack of skill, but the other one is my enjoyment overall. Okay, and now when we select objects to cut, we have that body. Yeah, and this way we are just cutting that body. This gets preserved. And we can just adjust the angles and cut that body in the right way to get the correct shape here. I think if you get something like this... And we got it. So yeah, I was not expecting on this stream having a part 2. But maybe this stream will have a part 2. Okay, and here we also have to cut a little bit of that. Yeah, but I think this works. This shape, the octagonal edginess, works well there. That's the name of my weapon, the octagonal edginess. It is already pretty interesting. True. It is way more detailed than what I first had in mind. I was expecting to make something way more simple, if I'm honest. I got a bit carried away. But I do think it matches the vibes. I really like how this texture here on the outside turned out. This texture and some of the details we added further on. I'm really excited with what we are achieving here today. Okay, and now here I need to cut this. Like, okay, this, if I think logically, is fitting there into the other ones, so I can just go like this. And then revolve, access this, cut, only body 3. Oh, let's just make this a little bit more here, so we don't have that annoying texture. If I update, that should disappear. Ah, almost. That's the problem of me dividing this into 2 parts. That's the consequence. Except now I can't make these things interact with one another. I can, I think, but it would be bothersome. It's better to just go like this. And now... I think it's fixed. Okay, let's I think I need to remove a little bit more. Let's update everything. Okay, that's probably... I've removed so much from this side. That's probably a problem on the other part. Let me go there real quick. On this one. I think this should solve it. Just want to make sure that those details don't get unfixed. So now what's... The next part will probably be adding the details on top of here. Adding more details to the back. And maybe adding like a clock face there. We already have the markings here, but... And then I need to make the swords as well. We have a good basis. Do we keep it steel? I mean, steel is a very... Gachiakuta color. Like just regular steel. Like just having things like this. I know I like quite a lot. I shouldn't do renders while I'm streaming. I feel like this vision even looks better than the renderings for now. Because it has the lines, so it looks more of something as if it is animated. And you can make this be made of fabric. I'm just curious to see. Okay, this is very weird. The textures are really fun to play with. Oops. And it really changes the vibe of how it looks. Like there's some like old aluminum. Let's get metals. Or like, okay, polished gold. It really brings a new vibe to how things look. Stainless steel. Gold watch shield for all that bling bling. Exactly. And for example, stainless steel mesh square small. I think this is going to add like a texture. Stainless steel mesh wire? Okay. I'm very curious about that. Oh, it's like... Oh! Doesn't work that well in this design, but I see what it's for. Ooh. Yeah, in this particular design it doesn't work well. But I can see the vision of making it work. Is there any bronze? I think there is. Yeah, the bronze patina. Polished. Yeah, this definitely gives the chrome. Shiny. I'm thinking if it looks better in a bronze style, like more faithful to the clock itself, or with the regular steel. What do you think? I added so many textures. Regular steel or polished bronze? Old brass? If I make old brass more... Oops, I don't think I can change the color of it. If I could... Wee... Brassnado... Yeah, I think the bronze... Because the bronze looks kind of rusty and dirty. If it was very clean, I don't think it would work. But like a dirty bronze polish, I think works. But yeah, okay. I'm yapping on and going on about colors. I think going from this to this, we are definitely on the mark when it comes to designing a weapon inspired by Gachiakuta to be the shield, to be the weapon of my character. I think we are hitting the mark spot on in our objective. But yeah, that was it for today. Let me go over, let me go over to another scene. Because, no longer sharing desktop. So much easier. So much less pressure. It is quite nice, thank you. Yeah, that was it for today. Wait, this schedule 13 to 19. Okay, I just noticed that the week is wrong on top, but this is this week, and yeah, this was a later at night stream. Not sure if it looks like a shield though. I think once we get more details, and I mean it does need to be a clock as well. I think once I add more details, and I think it's more important for it to look like a clock than it is for it to look like a shield. Because that's how weapons work. That's how divine instruments work. It has to remain a clock. But I can see the vision. I only believe it when I see you wielding it IRL. Yes, I will do that. I will definitely do that. But yeah, that was it for today. I had a great time, and I'll be back on Friday for a very exciting stream. I'm collabing with my good friend Zerzon, and we'll be talking about the anime that influenced us the most. Not our favorite anime, no, this is the anime that had an impact on us. On how we view the world, on how we grew up. It's gonna be a fun one. And that's gonna be, yeah, Yapathon with Zerzon. It's gonna be really fun. This Friday, I'm still modeling while I'm talking to you. I shouldn't do this. This Friday, Friday afternoon, 4 p.m., 3 p.m. UTC. Of course, next week there's a time zone change in Portugal, or 2 weeks from now, and that's going to change things a little bit. But we'll see how things go, 1 week at a time. That was it for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye everyone, and have a good one.